shocking update and review of the finance and economic affairs, revealing that inflation as of the end of December 2022 stood at 13%, which he described as a not much desirable revenue performance, especially in domestic revenue collection, and a sharp decrease in remittances amongst others. He added that these and several other key highlights in the economic sector can all be attributed to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war and disruption within the supply chain. In several other sectors, such as agriculture, education, health, lands and security, the President outlines the formulation of several bills and policies all geared towards ensuring efficiency and strengthening performance. He also highlights achievements registered by his administration, notably in the sports, education and energy sectors, amongst others.
There is a decrease in number of crimes recorded in the third quarter of 2022. It decreased by 12.6% compared to the third quarter of 2021. At a total of 1,426 cases were reported in the third quarter of 2021, while in the third quarter of 2022, 1,247 cases were registered. We commend the police for this remarkable decrease, but urge them to lower the rate much further.
Following the President's address, we engaged several names, including Honorable Musa Cham and Suleiman Jame, members for Serakunda and Bununka Kunda, respectively, who shared with us what they made of the President's statement.
The issue of infrastructural developments, we'll welcome him and his government for the infrastructural development. And again, about education, the higher education, also those projects are very important projects. But we also have some issues with the healthcare. Definitely, a lot of things needs to be done with the healthcare.
We hope that let the projects be implemented as it should be. Let they give the project to people, contractors who are genuine, who are serious, so that they can implement the project. Because there are so many projects that are currently ongoing, especially the OIC project. Some of the projects are really slow, and definitely, and I don't think, in fact, it's good for the government, because at the end of the day, whenever there is a delay in project implementation, it's always a cost to the government.
National Assembly members for Fonyi Bintang and Councillor Bakari Baji and Almame Jiba said this was an opportunity to hear from the head of state what his administration is doing to address security concerns in their respective constituencies. And they look forward to the debates on the President's address, during which they hope to raise their concerns. Meanwhile, they echoed the call for national reconciliation. The National Assembly is adjourned until Monday, June 12th, when NAMs are expected to rigorously scrutinize the President's statement. And the Vice President and several other cabinet ministers are expected to attend that debate to answer questions or clarify concerns raised by National Assembly members. Ansmane Sonyasi for KTV News.
Environment Minister Rohi John Manjang and UNDP country representative Asata Day on Wednesday presided over the handing over of 35 tricycles from National Environment Agency to area councils to facilitate solid waste management in the country. Aliou Cisse tells us more.
The tricycles are purchased under the Global Environment Facility funded project on the polychlorinated biphenyls and unintentional persistent organic pollutants being implemented jointly by the National Environment Agency and UNDP. The project is based on the implementation of the provisions of the Stockholm Convention ratified by the Gambia in 2003. The beneficiaries include Brikama and Masakongo area councils. Mohamed Jalom Jabang, project coordinator, said waste management is a big challenge to all councils in the country amidst an increased population.
This project came to support the councils to help them facilitate the waste management process.
The problem of waste collection and management continues to persist, hence the reason why all candidates in the last mayoral and area council election had it on their agenda. Dr. Dauda Baji, Executive Director of NEA, hopes the project will enhance the capacity of the councils to assist in the management of waste.
As we all know, the issue of waste is a challenge, and we are the one who normally generate this waste. But it's a challenge to manage it, because it involves a lot of resources, It involves a lot of goodwill also from the people to be able to address this issue.
Littering and indiscriminate dumping of waste are common in the Gambia, despite availability of dustbins in some areas and the anti-littering law. Environment Minister Rohey John Manjang and UNDP country representative Asira Day, respectively, welcome the tricycles as timely and relevant to the ongoing efforts by the NEA to enhance public hygiene.
As Gambians, we are the ones responsible for this country. No other person can come and then change it for us. They can only help, as we are witnessing today. But for us to make sure that we achieve the objectives collectively, as per the agenda, it is for us to make sure that at least we hold onto the rope and very tight.
The exposure to persistent organic pollutant can lead, as we know, to serious health effects. Improper waste management, aside of its health effect, has serious environmental implications. It can cause blooding, environmental pollutions, as I just mentioned, affect aquatic lives in our ecosystem, and impact negatively on the livelihoods of the people.
It is hoped that the beneficiary councils will make best use of the tricycles for the purpose they are meant for. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The Media Council of the Gambia, in partnership with Freedom House and USAID, Wednesday commenced a two-day national dialogue for media owners and senior editors on improving quality media content in the Gambia. Ansumane Sonyasi again.
Sometimes referred to as the fourth estate, the media plays an important role in informing, educating and entertaining the public, and it remains an important stakeholder in strengthening democracy. For centuries, people have relied on traditional media as the main source of information. However, the advent of social media and the proliferation of media houses in what is now a democratic Gambia means adjusting to our ever-changing world with improved quality content. Hence, this national convergence of key stakeholders such as media owners, senior editors, veteran journalists, diplomats and civil society. The drive is to create a platform for meaningful discourse on how to improve quality media content in the Gambia. In a reminder to journalists on their role and how such forums can facilitate sharing of ideas and experiences and help shape conversations on how to enhance quality journalism, organizers of the event, Babukar Cham, Chairman of the Media Council, Demba Kande of Freedom House, and Mohamed Esba, President of the Gambia Press Union, and Eric Mela, the U.S. Embassy Banjul's new Deputy Chief of Mission, called on journalists to always endeavor to provide good, quality content by upholding ethical reporting standards.
It has come at a moment where misinformation, disinformation are disturbing. You know, the profession is coming at a moment where the Media Council of the Gambia, together with the Gambia Press Union and Freedom House, are trying their level best, together with all other stakeholders, to make sure that the profile of the media industry is uplifted.
Most of us here are fortunate to have seen the Gambia in the past, and we have seen Gambia today. We are on a remarkable journey towards democratic reforms, and we are aware of the role that the media plays in this process.
Our collaboration seeks to also address the evolving challenges faced by the media industry, which includes the rise of misinformation, disinformation, fake news, and we are also working together to develop sustainable models for journalism and encourage diversity as well as inclusivity in media representation.
Since the Gambian people voted to return to a democratic path in late 2016, the growth and development of the Gambian media sector has been nothing short of breathtaking. Today, only 6 years later, the country enjoys a rich array of media options that continues to mature.
During a plenary session on the role of media executives and managers in supporting journalists to produce quality content, QTV Head of News Ade Darami, who was one of several speakers, highlighted among other things how editors' involvement in daily news production can help improve content quality and provide the necessary guidance for reporters.
For a journalist, you have to be somebody who you can sniff out a story. It's not always presented to you. You can go out and seek stories. And my colleague is here. Sometimes we laugh because I get in on the morning and I said, guess what, I've got good news. We have not had a single letter inviting us for coverage today. We have to generate the news. So it means going out there, getting the stories, checking your facts before you publish. That's what makes you a journalist.
This two-day convergence will feature several sessions on enhancing quality journalism through self-regulation, ethical reporting, news business, and how job security and fair pay can improve professional journalism in the Gambia. Ansmane Sonyasi for KTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break, and when we return, we still have some more local and international news stories. Do stay tuned.
Inco Home Choice. Home Choice. Bagage bu baax mooy def liggéey bu baax te wóor te soo ko jëndee dina la yóbbu ci diir bu yàgg te du gaaw a yàqu. Inco Home Choice ñoo leen indil bépp xeetu bagage yi jumtuwaay yi ngeen mun a jëfandikoo ci seeni métier yi.
waaw ñun Inco fii leen di jëndee suñu bagage yi Inco lañ yombalee bagage yi dañ ko baax quality bagage lañ lay jaay moo tax ñun liggéey bu ñoo def electrical plumbing boo ji Inco fii leen lay ñëw Brikama ñu jënd suñu bagage ñu bàyyi ko ba ci Stamp Serekunda fii waaye fii leen lay ñëwee bagage dina bagage lu waral loolu Inco dañ yombalee bagage number 1 number 2 seen bagage yi dañ baax dañ quality
bagage yu si mel ni power tools accessories bench tools generator yu baax welding machines ak small construction equipments muy bagage yu baax yi ngeen mën a jëfandikoo bu ngeen ay samp ay kër.
Because Inco mo fene dila bagage quality sa guarantee bi dila bagage nyasa nimi sa tije imita fengo min nada Inco ma soto janga man Gambia janga man soto folo den nga ñoo ma koy akolera nya wonyandi mbe nga wuli nga na Inco nga bagage tan
seet si leen ñu si suñ maakaan yi nekk ci biir réew mi foofa sa Jimpex Kanifing Sukuta Jabang traffic light ak Brikama opposite Joko night club wala ngeen call ñu ci 532 5773 wala 341 7619 wala 739 8863 wala 303 9300 wala nga email ñu incogambia@gmail.com ak Inco Home Choice jafe-jafe ci wàllu bagage yi ngeen di jëfandikoo ci seen métier yi jeex na. Inco Home Choice. Inco Home Choice. Inco.
dañuy wecc xar xanam dafa war a wute ak li nga daan gis daxin piir puuj paaj lay doon QTV du ay fodde Tabaski style 2023 bi dafay toj de xoolal ma modèle si ak ni ñu koy tempee ñëwkat yi gën a xarañ ci réew mi la ñu àndal ñu fas yéene indi ay style yu ngeen mësul a gis ren ji yée lépp day wute li tax mooy Cheikh Fall day ñëw daal di tàngal bërëb bi waa groupe Daara Lamp Fall yéen a gën a xam Cheikh Fall ci ambiance waaye ku ci topp borom bëm kan la xanaa attaque waa lii kañ la xanaa ondi neen cuul fële ca Q City juróom-ñaari waxtu lay tàmbali jëm ca kaw waaye di leen fàttali ticket yi mun ngeen koo amee ci bépp Qcell customer care Kairaba Avenue Turntable Bruce bi ticket $400 VIP $700 mun ngeen a call ci number bi 344 4444 2023 bi dafa nar a ca kes de ñëwkat yi dañoo ñëw pire modèle si dañoo modèle pire QTV day jommale QTV 2023 du yomba de sponsored by Nido.
Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. Another round of COVID-19 vaccination campaign has started and targeting children aged 12 and above. Our regional correspondent Bakali Balde is with the vaccination team in the Lower River region, and he filed this report.
This is the 10th round of the vaccination campaign with the target of vaccinating over 70% of the population across the country. In this region, unlike what had been witnessed previously, many are willing to take the vaccine after rigorous health talks and campaigns to enlighten communities. Mariama Gomez, is the Public Health Desk Officer of Soma District Hospital and COVID-19 District Supervisor for Jara West.
When we did our first round of the COVID vaccine, so many people were reluctant to take the vaccine. We had problem convincing people to take the vaccine, but as time goes on, they build confidence in us and also are willing. Some will even come and take it voluntarily without even us going there to convince them. And that is how we reached our 70% coverage.
Keba Sise and Lami Yabo, both public health officers administering the COVID-19 vaccines, said they are administering both the Pfizer and Johnson vaccines and mentioned the significance of being vaccinated.
Those who took the Johnson vaccine can take the Pfizer as their booster, because the Pfizer comes with 2 shots, interval of 28 days. If you take the first shot, it has to be an interval of 28 days before you take the second shot. But those who took the Johnson, because if you take 1 shot of Johnson, you are fully vaccinated.
Seni Samate, the deputy head teacher of Soma Lower Basic School, outlined the impact of the vaccination.
This vaccination has made a great impact in the school, because the time this exercise is going on, we have never realized any sickness pertaining to COVID-19. Therefore, it is welcomed, and all the staff, including the head teacher, has welcomed the vaccination. And also, I am informing the general public, particularly the parents, that their children are in safe hands in the vaccination and nothing else. But we are protecting them to make sure we do things at the right hand.
Fatmata Fati and Fatmata Kamara are among the students who took the vaccines.
I'm happy to take my COVID-19 vaccine, and I'm advising my fellow students to take the COVID-19 vaccine because it is safe. I am advising my friends and my parents and all the Gambians to take it.
For over 3 years now, COVID-19 has posed a global threat affecting all spheres of life, and health experts believe this can be remedied through constant vaccinations. In this regard, the vaccination campaign team in LRR is leaving no stone unturned to reach the target group. Bakari Balde for QTV News.
A day-long training on circular economy organized by Waste Aid Gambia and partners was held on Wednesday. The training focused on various sectors in the Gambia and their circular approaches, using service models such as recapturing materials, recycling and composting. More in this report. When we throw away trash, especially plastic, electronic and other forms of waste, these could become environmental hazards. For example, a plastic bag thrown away might end up in the sea and contribute to destroying our marine resources. However, any material thrown away as waste can be recycled in another form to be useful. This can generate income and reduce waste. Rebecca Colley-Jones is a circular economy and waste management lead.
So the participants will be learning about circular economy, how it evolved, what does it mean, more importantly, what it means for them as businesses. So how can they use circular economy principles to develop and design a business, looking at the things that we already talked about, which were environmental improvement, social equity, and economic benefits.
According to Waste Aid Gambia, most of the waste generated in the country is disposed of at informal dump sites or burned in backyards. Uncollected waste pollutes the River Gambia and its fragile mangrove forest, eventually leaking into the Atlantic Ocean. The impacts of climate change are compounded by pollution from waste, affecting human health, groundwater, agricultural land, livestock and fisheries. Marie Krubali, project manager of Waste Aid Gambia, gave details of their work.
Gambia is the first country they started any of their projects in 2015. They have a passion to always come back and see ways on how they can enhance and develop people's livelihoods as well and make Gambia a better and cleaner, healthier environment. Circular economy is a system whereabout waste is recirculate, because previously it's about
having a product, using it, disposing it, and it's forgotten. But when circular economy comes out, instead of having a linear kind of a process, it goes back into the system.
One of the participants in the training, Hadimanga, has already had experience of circular economy. She says she uses plastic waste and recycles it to make products such as basket, wallet, and key holders.
Whenever I see plastic, I pick it up, even if it is dusty or there is dirt on it. I will contribute not only to making the environment clean, but there are benefits. I use them to make laptop bags, wallets, key holders, and other valuable materials.
Mamadou Kajaga, QTV News. And now to international news. Today, the 8th of June, is World Ozone Day. Every year, since 2009 on this day, the United Nations, governments and non-governmental organizations join forces to create awareness, protect and preserve the ozone from exploitation and all forms of harmful practices. Julden Jaya reports.
The concept of celebrating Ozone Day globally was first proposed in 1992 by the Canadian government at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And the UN General Assembly passed a resolution in 2008 to celebrate the day. Every year on World Ozone Day, activities, seminars, educational workshops and events are held by government and non-government organizations to make people aware about the harmful effects of exploiting the ozones. World Ozone Day also provides a platform for people to raise awareness about the role of the ozones in supporting life on Earth and to take steps to protect these precious natural resources for future generations. World Ozone Day is a necessary reminder for us to realize and appreciate the contribution of ozones in our lives, from providing food to regulating and supporting biodiversity and the climate. Ozone covers over 70% of the planet and support life, and it feeds billions of people and hosts 80% of the world's biodiversity. However, our ozones have been exploited by human activities for centuries. Pollution, destructions of aquatic habitats, overfishing, and ozone acidification are some of the well-known examples of exploitation.
Last year, we adopted an ambitious global target to conserve and manage 30% of land and marine and coastal areas by 2030, as well as a landmark agreement on fisheries subsidies. At the UN Ocean Conference in Lisbon, the world agreed to push for more positive ocean action. A global, legally binding agreement to end plastic pollution is under negotiation. And in March, countries agreed to the historic ICES Treaty on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biodiversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction. Realizing the great promise of these initiatives requires collective commitment. Sustainable Development Goal 14, to conserve and sustainably use the ocean resources, hangs in the balance. This World Oceans Day, let's keep pushing for action. Today and every day, let's put the ocean first.
As a country sitting on the Atlantic Ocean, the Gambia is one country that benefits from the ozone in terms of supporting the fishing industry. In addition, our many beaches facing the Atlantic Ocean attract scores of tourists to our shores. World Ozone Day seeks to reduce the reckless exploitation of the ozones and to develop sustainable measures to protect them. Several measures like stopping the use of plastics, developing strong environmental policies, and implementing rules and regulations to support sustainable seafood choices are some of the effective ways to protect the precious natural resources like ozones. For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
Now, before we end this news bulletin, here is a recap of our main news headlines. In his 2023 State of the Nation address on Thursday at the National Assembly, President Adama Barrow highlighted the state of progress and challenges of his government's developmental policies and programs. Over 35 tricycles were handed over to Brikama and Monsakonko Area Council by the National Environment Agency to facilitate solid waste management. A two-day national dialogue for media owners and senior editors on improving quality media content commenced on Wednesday, organized by the Media Council of the Gambia and partners. We found out how another round of nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign targeting children aged 12 and above is faring in the Lower River region. In international news today, the 8th of June is World Ozone Day, commemorated annually to create awareness of the importance and protection of our ozones. That's all in this edition of the news. Thank you very much for watching, but don't forget to join us again at 10 for another bulletin.